Hi there! In this video I'll take you along on a trip to the Portsmouth Kite Festival, where I shot 5 rolls of film with my Leica M2 and my Fuji GS645W. The Portsmouth Kite Festival takes place every year on Southsea Common right by the seafront, and the sky is filled with kites of every shape and size, from whales and sharks to more abstract designs. This day turned out to be one of my most inspiring trips in quite some time, and I can't wait to share the photos and the story with you in this video. So let's dive right into it. Last year I came across some beautiful photos from the Portsmouth Kite Festival by Josh, aka Spicy Meatballs. The colors, the atmosphere and the sheer number of kites in the sky looked so magical to me. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the festival last year. This year though, I wasn't going to miss it. I marked the festival dates in my calendar early, and a few weeks before the festival I asked some fellow photographers, Scott, Joe and Mark, if they were keen to join me. Thankfully everything lined up, and on a Saturday morning in July we hopped on a train from London to Portsmouth. It's a 1.5 hour-ish train journey, which is perfect for a day trip I think. The weather forecast promised a mix of sunny spells and clouds, the kind of day when the light keeps changing constantly. That can be frustrating but also rewarding if you're patient enough. After we arrived in Portsmouth, we grabbed a quick coffee and something to eat, and then headed straight to the Common by the seafront, where the actual kite festival takes place. The sight as we arrived was stunning. The whole sky was filled with kites, some of the massive handmade creations, sharks, whales, cartoon characters, you name it. The atmosphere was great and lively. Families spread out on blankets, children running across the grass, and the sound of the kites snapping in the wind. I started off with my Leica M2 loaded with Kodak Gold, using the Vogtländer 35mm f2 Ultron. Within what felt like no time at all, the first roll was finished. On days like this I just get far too excited and I have to hold myself a little bit back to avoid burning through too much film. I'm super happy with the results from this first roll, even though it was quite overcast most of the time. I think especially the photos with a lot going on in the foreground and the kites in the background work really well. These 5 photos are my favorites from this first roll. I think they convey the vibe and the atmosphere of the festival very well. After finishing that first roll, I immediately loaded another roll of Kodak Gold. To change things up a bit, I switched to my 21mm lens, the Vogtländer 21mm f3.5 color scope R. This lens gave me a much wider perspective, perfect for capturing not just the kites but also the people and the atmosphere. I love being able to frame small scenes in the foreground with the huge shapes of the kites floating above. By midday we met up with Josh and Seb, who joined us for lunch. Even before we sat down, I had already burned through my second roll that day. That doesn't happen very often to me, 2 rolls gone in just a couple of hours, but I felt so inspired that day and got way too excited. Again, I'm very pleased with the results I got from this roll. With some photos I think I could have gotten even closer to the subject, but 21mm is still pretty challenging for me, I have to admit. However, I feel that I get more comfortable with the 21mm focal length every time I use it. These 5 photos turned out to be my favorite shots from the second roll of the day. In the afternoon, I switched back to the 35mm lens and loaded Kodak ProImage 100. The sun had come out properly by then, or at least I thought so, and the slower film let me open up the aperture a bit more. With this roll I focused more on the people around the festival. Groups picnicking, people flying their own kites and everyone just enjoying the day. It was nice to see more casual kite flyers joining in and filling the sky with smaller kites as well. On this roll I captured my favorite shot from the whole day, and I'm super happy with how it came out. A woman with a nice hat gazing up at the kites above her. That frame has a calmness to it that sums up the day beautifully. In fact, I took quite a few variations of that scene, which all work really well in my opinion. Apart from my Leica M2, I also had my Fuji GS645W loaded with Kodak Gold 200. I only reached for the Fuji every now and then when the scene felt truly special. With this roll I focused more on the kites rather than the festival, and I think the vibrant colors of the kites came out really nicely on Kodak Gold. Later I also experimented with an expired roll of Fuji color Superia 100, rating it at ISO 50 after a test I did in the previous video. The colors came out beautifully, soft and pastel-like, but the last few frames had some light leaks and odd marks from the backing paper. A good reminder that expired film can be unpredictable. Sometimes it surprises you in the best way, sometimes not really. As the day turned to evening, we wandered through the small amusement park by the seafront and then walked along the promenade. The light softened, the crowds thinned out, and it felt like the perfect way to end the day. We finished with a pint at a local pub before heading back to the station for the train home to London. All in all, I shot 3 rolls of 35mm film, 2 rolls of 120 film and some digital snapshots along the way. It's rare for me to shoot that much in a single day, but this festival was so full of color, energy and small moments worth capturing that it just felt right. The weather wasn't perfect, but that didn't really matter. The company was great, the atmosphere was lovely, and the kites, they were spectacular. I'll definitely be back next year. I hope you really enjoyed coming along to the Portsmouth Kite Festival and this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel, it really helps. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Cheers!